So let's start our first session today. So may we now invite Ms. Pia, lead of WWF Hong Kong Hoi Ha Marine Life Center, to introduce us this center. Pia, please.
Thank you. Welcome everyone to the center. I will be introducing to you the facilities that we have here and the work that we do here. So the center has been here since 2004, and we run education programs and try to do as much research as we can within the marine park. We have a team of 5 people here, including myself, and we work a lot with the WWF team. A lot of people come here to use the facilities, such as yourselves, and the education team and the conservation team. So as you can see, we are over here, and this is the marine park area. My job here is to coordinate the facilities and make sure that everything is running smoothly and we are reaching our conservation objectives as well. So if you look at Hong Kong in itself, it has, most of it is actually sea. We don't have that much land, but we have a lot of sea surface area. It's actually 60% of Hong Kong's area is oceans, more so than land. So that means that there is so much potential for ocean conservation, and there is a need for us to really act on that as well, because we have a duty to protect our oceans that we have right next to our city. So that's what we try to do here. This is the ecological hotspot map of Hong Kong. So Hong Kong has a lot of different areas that are really ecologically important. So we are based Hoi Ha Wan, which is over here. But if you look at all the other ones, there are also so many parts of Hong Kong that are so important to the ecology. For example, you have West Lantau with the Chinese white dolphin, very iconic species, which we work a lot to conserve. We have projects in Shui Hao as well. So WWF really tries to hit all of these hotspots to run our conservation programs, which is why we also have a center here. And Hoi Ha Wan is one of the focus for that, because we not only have things like special areas for conservation, such as mangroves, which are used for juvenile fish. So we help restore the fish populations within this area. There's a lot of corals here as well, which you will be seeing later. And that kind of shows why Hong Kong and Hoi Ha is so important. If you look at Hong Kong, there are 6 marine parks and 1 marine reserve. So Hoi Ha Wan is a marine park, which means that there are rules and regulations within the park to try and protect the water. So for example, here we're not allowed to take anything out of the water. So you're not allowed to fish without a permit. We are not allowed to sample water without a permit. You cannot take sand from the beach without a permit. So that means that they're trying to protect the resources as much as possible. The Southwest Lantau Marine Park is one of the most recent ones, which was established in April as well. So we are part of this network, and all in all, it has about 2.5% of Hong Kong is marine protected areas. We are trying to reach 30% by 2030, so that gives us about 10 years to reach that goal, which is ambitious, but I think it is possible. Within the marine parks, we have a lot of special wildlife. I don't know if anybody is a scuba diver or likes to go snorkeling or do water sports, but we have things like corals in Hoi Ha. Like I said, the Chinese white dolphin. There's so many broad species of fish, species of plants, species of flora and fauna that are so important. So that's what we try to protect here. So like I said, the protected areas, 2.45% of Hong Kong. When you think that 60% of Hong Kong is water, it's not a lot. So we are trying to get better. And then a no-take zone is an area where no fishing is absolutely allowed, which is in the 1 marine reserve that we have in Cape d'Aguilar. And that's less than 0.01%. So hopefully we can try to bring that up. This is where we are right now. We are located down here. So you arrived at the village and then you walked over. The marine protected area is within the blue area here. So this is the boundary. Like I said, no fishing is allowed without a permit. We have coral communities spread all around the marine park and the mangroves as well. So our area of work is mostly focused here, but we do a lot of tours around here, and then we are doing coral surveys around this area and all around the marine park. So we really focus on the entire area. The center itself, like I said, was built in 2004 and it has seen one big renovation. So this is the new and improved version. It is built on a coral-free seabed. So underneath the center is just mud and sand. We purposefully built it on an area without corals to be sure that we were not damaging any of the area. I've been diving down there. There's nothing to see. It's not very interesting, but it's just mud and sand. If you look at the visitors that we get here, we get more than 16,000 people walking to the center every year. It's a lot. There's a lot of people coming here to see what we do. So our outreach potential is huge. We get a lot of school visitors, overseas visitors, which is a lot of wetland managers from China. They come to learn about the wetlands in Hong Kong, and so they come and see us here as well. And a lot of public. A lot of hikers come to Hoi Ha to do the hiking, and so they come here. Our center, if you look at it, you are in classroom 2. We have an exhibition room, and then we have a marine lab. This platform is absolutely enormous, but we use it all very well. So yeah, this is what the center looks like from above, but you've seen it by now. Yeah, so the 2 classrooms and then the exhibition hall, which we use to try to showcase on different themes every couple of months. I'm going to talk to you about the different things that we actually do here, because it's nice to have this big center, but how do we actually use it? Our main goal is to run marine education programs, so we try to work a lot with schools and the public to educate on ocean conservation, mostly focusing on corals. We mostly used to target group visitors, but now we have a whole new target audience, which is the general public, corporate members, community groups, underprivileged groups, and primary and secondary students who will do all sorts of different programs. We have tried to match the conservation programs with the school programs, so it works with the curriculum as well. So students will come as part of their class to come here. And we focus mostly on ocean, biodiversity, and then sustainability in Hong Kong, so making Hong Kong the most sustainable city in Asia, which is also why you are here as well. So we try to match it with the current topics of choice in Hong Kong. A lot of focus on seafood as well, because Hong Kong, as you know, is one of the biggest consumers of seafood in the world. So we try to promote sustainable seafood as well. We get a lot of students coming here. We take them to the beach. They do beach observations. They look at the sand. They look for crabs and shells and things like that. They do water measurements, and then they also come into the classroom and do dress up and things like that. So we try to incorporate science and citizen science to help monitor the area as well, because we can use what they do to help inform the situation within the area for us as well. This is them collecting water, so this is very popular. We also do this with the public as well, so they're sampling plankton and things like that to get an idea of how the conditions are in Hoi Ha. And then we take this data and publish it as well. Yeah. They like to look at plankton as well, so we do this a lot here as well. It's very popular because you can see plankton just under the microscope when you collect it yourself. It's very exciting. So this is another one of our school programs. We also have teacher training programs, so we actually help train teachers to teach about ocean conservation so they can improve their skills in the classroom and be able to teach their students a lot better as well. So we have our group of educators who will come here and have the teachers and help them learn how to more effectively teach about ocean conservation. So there's been snorkeling events, there's workshops, there's boat trips, and we go into schools and then they come here as well. So it's a really, double-sided educational tool. Regarding our public visits, at the moment it is the most popular because obviously schools are not able to come here at the moment. We are open every day, Thursdays to Sunday, so if you are in the area, please come again and visit us. We, like I said, get nearly 10,000 walk-in visitors per year. It's very busy, and it works really well. People are very happy about it. Our biggest attraction is the glass bottom boat. It is the first one in Hong Kong and one of the only ones running here as well. And it is definitely by far the biggest, so it is hugely popular. It allows people to appreciate the corals. I think there's a big detachment between us saying we need to protect the corals, but if you've never seen one, you would never be able to really feel a sense of ownership towards it. So we are able to bring people to the water and really show them what coral communities are. And then once people start to see it, they start to care, and then we can really progress towards ocean conservation. So this is one of our best tools, because a lot of people either don't know how to swim or they've never been snorkeling, and so we're able to remove that barrier and take them there. So yeah, I think this is a really, really great tool. We have our festival, which is our public event where we have all sorts of activities during the day. We have some of our ocean conservation experts who come here to talk to the public about the different projects that WWF does. So it's not just the work that we do here, but it's really the whole organization as well. Lots of families come, we have special exhibitions, they go on the boat, arts and crafts, things like that. So you can see it's really busy, and it works really well to further educate. I mean, all we do is educate, but I think that's the way forward, especially with the kids. So that's what we work on the most. We have things like Mandela Day as well, which is another activity that we run every year. Beach cleanup, which you guys will be doing as well. VR, things like that. So all the different tools that we have to try and make our center as fun and exciting as possible. Because we work with the South African consulate. So they run an event every year, and then we are hosting one of the events for them as well. So they also do Mandela Day in our other centers as well. We have this program called Eco-Guide Volunteer Training. So we train anyone who falls within any age category as soon as they are 18 and above. We train them to become our guides. So they are able to lead programs for us. So if we have a tour, for example, this afternoon we have a visit, it will be an eco-guide who will be running this tour. So this is a whole program that we use to train guides who will then be paid and will be able to lead the tours for us. So we also really work on improving the capacity of young people in Hong Kong as well. And then they are trained properly through at least 6-week program, and then they are certified, and then they can use that even to further enhance their career as well. So this is another thing that we do here. If you have anyone who would be interested, they are always hiring, so send them our way, and we will train them to become ocean experts. Another thing that I have been working on really hard since I got here, which was about 1.5 years ago, is to make this a proper marine research center. Because a lot of the focus has been on education, but I am a scientist as a background. So we are trying to develop as much as we can more scientifically sound research programs. So we do things like monitoring the environment. We do reef check surveys and baseline surveys. So we set up transects through the corals, and then we count all of the different species that we see, and that is able to be recorded to have long-term studies. We also do programs such as, like I said, the plankton research, One Planet Youth, and then we are always working with the ocean conservation team for them to really set up programs here as well. So that is one of my biggest goals, is to really work with things like researchers in other universities to really try to improve the science here. So that's always a work in progress as well. Just really quickly, the future projects, what you can hope to see here if you ever come back is that we will be working with universities. So this is a project I helped on, which is an artificial reef. So we went just over that way to deploy these tiles to then plant coral on them so that they will grow and restore the reef, because we are always trying to find a way to help restore the reef here. So that's something that I helped out with, and that's something that we are trying to build as well. We're always developing new programs, new exhibitions, and then increasing the research, working with youth, helping them become better scientists, better leaders, and then they can then teach everybody else. And then it's like a ping-pong effect of everyone being able to teach everybody else. So that's kind of it on a very brief introduction of what we do here. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them.